the top or you just like to lose? Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm Peyton. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose? Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose?
Playoff football has come to the west coast of Florida, and we are at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Tonight we continue with Wild Card Weekend with what should be a great one between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the man from WhoDAt, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
And here's Jones again on second down. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd-and-1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Brady going to go on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert. And Walker has it. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and 1.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Here's Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, really a fantastic play, not only to pick that off, but he had to run a long way, Charles, the other direction to hit pay dirt. He did it, and they've got the first lead.
And that certainly changes the early tone of this game, doesn't it, partner? One moment, they were going to be in early control. Now they just have a few moments to clear their heads and get back out there against an electrified defense.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Herbert now. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first.
He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Kentavious Street able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
On 2nd down, it's Walker. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. A nice run right there. And we talk this time of year about certain teams, certain players who don't have a lot of postseason history to speak of. And here's a man right here in his rookie season in the NFL, and he's being asked to carry the load at running back for this offense.
And he has acquitted himself nicely here in his rookie year. And look, I think we both believe that the burden's a little lighter on backs and receivers than it is on quarterbacks in the playoffs. But that's not to say that this is going to be easy. As fast as the NFL game is in the regular season, it's like warp speed when you turn the pressure up in the postseason. So let's see how he handles things early.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Brady now on first down. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Brady to throw. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And I think really good defenders can sniff out those screen passes. Just something that they can feel, something that they can sense about how the quarterback drops back or how the linemen are just a little slow to block the oncoming rushers. He read it perfectly. Got in there and made the play.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Herbert off of play action. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Running left is Walker. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat. Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Here comes Reed. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
And the Saints 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Brady. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. On play action, it's Brady. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Then their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Bucs are going to get the football here at their own 23. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this 1st half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Herbert. Buying time to his left. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here's Jack Fox on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. On 1st and 10 is counter. Down to about the 37.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Buccaneers will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Marcus Davenport gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 49-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Brady gives this one off to Jones.
That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Rodgers to return it. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this will be called officially a 66-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaughan. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
You don't see too many pass-catching fullbacks nowadays, partner. In fact, you don't see too many fullbacks, period.
Good news, though, he does have decent hands, and we saw it right there on display. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He finds his man, complete. That's Walker. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And this will wind up as Saints' 1st down as good running gets him to about the 44.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 1st down, Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Bucs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So that, Charles, maybe the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something, because we're into the 3rd quarter and a 0.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Herbert just beat the play clock. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Third and long, it's Herbert. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, I know you appreciate seeing this great defense, especially with the heightened intensity of the postseason. These two defenses, they have risen to the occasion to force back-to-back interceptions.
You know me well, Brandon. I always stand with my fellow defenders. And I love watching them make plays. And you nailed it. It's playoff time. This is when it matters most.
Room here to run. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to them.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Cameron Hayward busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Another try after the first down sack. Brady, he finds his target. It's Schultz. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. The kick by Lambeau is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's Herbert. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
So after the INT, it's Brady. He sets up the screen to Jones. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
On second down, it's Jones. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. One quarter remains in this NFC wildcard matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Brady. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 60 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Gets past one man. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
Alabama.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. Finding Sutton on the out route, who makes a catch. Touchdown! Cortland Sutton from 17 yards out. And the Saints continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round, but I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Eddie Jackson picks it.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside.
Isaiah Rodgers on the return. The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Herbert now. He's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
But partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more.
Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And here's Jones again on second down. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The offense on third down tonight, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Brady going to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. Rodgers on the return. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Chris Jones able to get him for a loss of about 3. To try again after the sack. Herbert. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Amani Hooker.
And the Saints are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. That goes for a gain of 31. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Brady going to throw here. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And he Jackson picks it.
And the Buccaneers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. One side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
Well, Jarius Sneed up to make the play defensively.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Back to throw here, Herbert.
This will be caught. It's Waddle.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And now here is another interception. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it.
And the Saints are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.